Hey everybody, this is yours truly, Queen Larrika. And I'm here to do a little video to talk about some other things that is very personal. And one of the things that I do want to share with somebody is Larrika first time and maybe the second one. I got a call, I get asked a lot about how was it, on your first time since you never been with a man. So I told him how it was and this and that. And so I'm just going to share some of that with y'all when I lost my virginity. So I know if you my homeboys, I know you probably don't want to hear it, so it's all good. But for the nosy and for the ladies, pull up a chair because it's going to get good. I'm going to rewind all the way back a couple months when, I first came out and I started taking hormones. And I end up moving to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And I already on uh, hormones. And the hormone was changing me little by little. So when I was in Milwaukee working, because I was working two jobs, that I noticed that the hormone was starting to change my desires, all my likes and needs and wants. And that's when I started to be attracted towards men. And I was fighting it. I was fighting the feelings because I knew, and I did my research before I started hormones, that it'd be a small percentage of people who start hormone therapy that they're gonna stick with women if they've been with women. But it's a large amount of people that leave the women and go with guys. But I ain't give a fuck. I was serious about who I am and accept my calling in life. So I'm up there in Milwaukee, and I'm living with Shawanda Hampton and her kid, and I'm working two jobs and this and that. So, like I said, months has passed since I've been on hormones, so I'm changing mentally. So, come down to it, somewhere in April or May, that I started to notice that guys was looking good to me. And by me being the type of person that I was fighting that thing at first because I never been with no dude. But the more I fought, the more attractive that a man was to me. So I talked to my transgender mom and I talked to my transgender sister, Akivia. That's, I was telling them, look, a lot of things going on up here in the head, and guys looking good to me. So my transgender mom, she told me that you're going through the change. So she said it's time to start to prepare yourself. And she told me what to do. That part is censored. So I was preparing myself. I did what she told me to do. And there was, people was training me, showing me what to do and how to do and all this and that. So it came to one night that I had left from over my homeboy Ike house. And I was fucked up. I was drinking a couple bottles of wine, and I still had one bottle left in the refrigerator. And I made it home before Akivia made it home. And Akivia came home about 12 something. And she saw the look in my face. And she was like, bitch. She like, you finna go get you some dick. So I'm like, no, I ain't ready for all that. And blah, 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 blah. So Akivia, she called one of her homeboys, who I won't say his name, to come over there to give me that experience. So I was like, hell no, I wasn't ready for that shit. So, so she still called him over there, and I started to panic. I really was drinking that wine then. So I'm just arguing with her, just arguing with her. No, I ain't ready for that shit. I ain't ready for this shit because I was already preparing myself for that. But I just wasn't ready. She caught me off guard with that shit. So she called my transgender mom, Nakaya. And Nakaya, she got on that phone and said, Larrika, you're going to have to know if you're going to be with women or you're going to be with men. You're going to have to experience, boo. You done came out. So what she said made sense to me. So I was like, fuck it. So about maybe 15 minutes later, I heard, the doorbell rang. My heart started pumping faster after I just got the nerves down. So she got up and, and opened the door, and I saw this bald head, uh, red bone guy with a gold teeth, real slim, looked like a young Tupac. And he was very handsome, very handsome. He was 29. And he came on in and, he introduced himself. Akiva introduced me to him and blah, blah, told her what the business going to be. So we talking and all this and that, but I'm nervous. So I go to the bathroom and I'm in the bathroom. I'm pacing the bathroom floor. I'm pacing the bathroom floor. I'm so nervous. I said, I can't believe this shit. So I looked in the mirror at myself and said, Larry's gone. Larry's gone. Came out to the world. You're going to have to. I mean, Larry gone. You're going to have to experience it anyway. So after I looked in the mirror and told myself that, the nerves were gone. So I went back into the living room where Akivia and that person was, and my mind's made up. It's finna go down. So I grabbed him by his hand and I said, I'm ready. So I pulled him into my bedroom and I told Akivia to come up in there with me. So she came up in there with me. And he was kind of thrown off because he didn't know what the situation was. Is it gonna be both of us? Not. But she told me that, it was just gonna be me. But I was nervous. I needed her for support. This was my first time getting in the game. So he was kind of nervous, because, I can understand he had just got off work and his mind right now was like, yo, I ain't feeling this. So I told Akivia, I got this. So Akivia gonna look at me and gonna say, you got this? I said, yeah, bitch, I got this. So Akivia walking out the door and she looked at me like to make sure I was ready, and I was like, I'm ready. So Akivia left. He locked the door. So that person, he pulled his pants down. And I saw his private part. And I hurried up. I turned my head. I turned my head away. And I told myself, Larry gone, baby. Larry gone. This is going down. So I turned back around. I looked at it. And I said, okay, I can handle this. Because if you watch porn, you can handle watching that. So, I got myself together, got myself in the position, and he said that he needs some help. So the main thing that I told myself that I was gonna do, I did. I gave him the head game. So I got him straight. Then it was showtime. And I got in the position, and when I felt he put his hand on my left ass cheek. And before it happened, I told him, I said, hold on, baby. I said, you know that you are my first one. I never been with a man. I said, you're gonna have to make it gentle to me. He said, okay, baby, I'm gonna make it gentle. So I said, okay. So after that, it was all she wrote. And the first experience was pretty good. It wasn't bad. But of just going through it, best believe I was going through a lot of psychological things, but I was remembering what my transgender mom and the Kiwi was telling me about it, and I done it, and that's why I'm in the game that I am in today because of them. But that person who I lost my virginity to, he technically is the first man that I ever been with. But this guy, who I won't say his name, he would have been the first. This guy saw me. I was leaving the store, and I had on my little purple dress with little bonnet things, and he was in a white car, and I was walking. I seen him looking at me. He was creeping. So I had my titty swinging and all this and that. So he kept creeping. Then all of a sudden he just drove past me and pulled over. And he was like, hey, what's going on, baby? I'm like, hey, sweetie, how you doing? So he like, he told me his name. I told him my name and blah, blah, blah. So I told him, I said, you know what type of woman I am? He said, yeah, I know what type of woman you are. I said, I'm transgender. He said, I'm cool with it. He said, I fuck with trans. So I said, really? He's like, yeah. So we exchanged numbers and all this and that. So we was talking. So one night, as usual, I left from my homeboy Ike house, fucked up. And I had just laid down in the bed and my phone light came on. It was a text message from him, the other person. And he texted me and said, what you doing? I said, in the bed thinking about you. And he said, I want to come over. I said, shit, come on through, boo. So I got myself ready. And he came on over. And at that time, I had, I had the experience with that other person. That was like a couple weeks, but I'm just starting, and I want to, get used to it. So that person came over, and he was very handsome as usual, and I had a cigarette in the ashtray, and I gave him the cigarette, and I lit the cigarette for him, and I still had some wine left because I kept drinking wine, and I let him, drink the wine. So we were talking. So we was in the living room at first, and I took care of that business in the living room with him. But it was showtime, so I went to my room, and I got into the right position, and and it was an experience that I never will forget. It was so good on how he touched me It was so good on how he talked to me. It was so good of how what he was doing to me that fucked my head up. I ain't gonna lie to you. And he gave me an out of body fucking experience that I never ever experienced, even when I was fucking women. And it's the truth. But this this dude, this dude opened the door inside my mind, and that door would never be closed again because I felt good, and he made me feel like a woman. And I've been crazy over that boy ever since, and no lie. So, of the experience with him, we were still dealing with each other because he was very consistent with me. And the more I got consistent, the more he was consistent with me, the more I was liking this nigga. I really digging this nigga. If that nigga had his game right, I would have took care of that nigga. No lie. But I'm glad he wasn't on that level because he would have controlled the bitch. That's just the truth. So it was coming down to, I was getting ready to leave Milwaukee because me and this guy, we was dealing with each other for a minute now. But it was time for me to leave. It was time for me to continue my journey as far as my transitioning. And I had called him and I told him, I said, look, I want you to spend some time with me because I'm leaving. He said, he'll come over. So on that Tuesday night, he came on over. I had just got those red and black lemonade braids I had. Oh, and I was in that lingerie too. And all I can tell you, man, I liked that nigga there. I liked it. What I want to say, I can't even say it. But best believe, I ain't never had it that fucking good in life of that experience with him. He is king in my book today. What he did to me because I was leaving, it's something serious. This dude, I had my braids and my head was kind of sore. I'm hanging over this dude. I mean, I know this is a little bit too much, but this dude had me hanging over the fucking arm of the couch with my head just dangling, my braids just dangling. He grabbed my hair and wrapped it around his wrist and pulled me up. And he was just, he was nailing the bitch. And he, well, you know the rest. And that was the second man I've been with. But this video, right, it's all about being free and expressing yourself. Because if a lot of people feel that once you step out the closet, that you still have to be with that uh, character, likes, and all this and that, you don't have to do that. Just do you. I'm free. I don't give a flying fuck who don't like it. Because if you don't like it, you can get the fuck off my page, boo. For real. I am not afraid to express myself to the world and to the people who are still in the closet. And I am grateful ladies, for your support. And I am grateful, men, for your support. I understand what the word is about. I'm at a certain age. I'm doing me. I got kids. They finna be 18 and 17. My daughter finna graduate. What the fuck? Live your life. Do you. Don't worry about me. Do you. And I'm going to end this video on that note. But I'm going to tell everybody I am real about this shit. I am truly in this life. And if you are like me and want to be free, come on out. Reach out to me through Messenger and talk to me, baby. I'll tell you some things. If you may can vent to me that you can't vent to nobody else. But best believe Queen Larrika got you. So I just want to say bye. And I love everybody. And I'm sorry, women who did experience Larry Dwayne Hart Sr. sexually. That shit is over. I welcome all newcomers. I with men. I love men. I like being with men. Period. So I just want to say bye. Bye-bye and bye-bye.